Welcome. And here is Samson's take. Corruption. What a sick country that is Ghana. It is solely in a sick country where grand corruption is normalized that people caught stealing are free to walk the streets and possibly dissipate the stolen money or conceal it over a year after they were caught. In August 2019, a journalist, not the police, National Security, BNI, now NIB or IOCO, equipped and paid by the state, caught a big thief. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, and the Office of Special Prosecutor, OSP, quickly started a probe on the back of Manasseh Azore Awene's contract for sale investigative piece aired on Joy News. SHRAJ issued a report on the 27th of October 2020, finding him guilty of the corrupt conduct of winning huge government contracts with his 3-year-old company and subsidiaries and selling those contracts. The president, who had suspended Ejene Boateng Ejie, Chief Executive Officer of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, from office, sacked him. The man charged with protecting the public purse, whose bank account held only about 40,000 Ghana cedis. Note that, only about 40,000 Ghana cedis at the time of his appointment, now had in excess of 40 million Ghana cedis. Less than 3 years in office. These accounts were frozen by the former Special Prosecutor, Martin Amidu, but it appears they have not remained frozen all this while. That the system has remained dead slow against him. And it is because our congested prisons, where inmates feed on less than 2 cedis a day, are homes for the poor, who steal just a bunch of plantain to survive. The big thieves are never candidates here. On 4th October 2019, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, also filed a complaint for a more comprehensive probe. This time, the former PPA boss, the board of directors, and 2 officers of his Corrupt Talent Discovery Limited came under the floodlight. SHRAJ gave its decision on 11th February 2022, a few weeks after the High Court, presided over by Justice Elfreda Amy Denchi, dismissed ABA Ajay's certiorari application challenging the earlier decision, claiming SHRAJ breached the rule of natural justice or fairness because he was not allowed to cross-examine some witnesses. He also claimed that there was no complainant when the complaints had in fact been filed by the president. In its latest 162-page report, A.B. Ajay was able to explain the source of only 86,000, note that, only 86,000 of the more than 5.6 million Ghana cedis in his CD account with the UMB Bank. So, bank officials found nothing suspicious and never asked any questions about the lodgements, as they are required by law to report to the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC. Well, SHRAJ has ordered him to refund the unexplained amount to the state within 6 months. He has been handed a 10-year ban from holding public office. He's already serving a 5-year ban. The Constitution and law command people to declare their assets before assuming public office. But guess what? He and the chairman of the PPA board, Professor Douglas Boateng, failed to do so. Professor Boateng had a flimsy excuse. Like a number of public officers, he claimed he was in the process of declaring his assets. That's 3 years after taking the job. ABAJ has been ordered to declare his assets within 3 months. On 2 occasions, he improperly altered the decision of the board in favor of his rogue company TDL, and the board was indicted for failing to insist on compliance with conflict of law procedures and due process. Dr. Emmanuel Yabwachi, note this. The General Secretary of the Domi Kwabenya MP Adwoa Asafo Fathers Christo Asafo Church was the technical director at the procurement ministry. Adwoa Asafo was the procurement minister at the time, and her technical director was on the PPA board. She moved him from the church to the PPA. Dr. Boachi, who is involved in the Christo Asafo group of companies, was caught in the corrupt act of conflict of interest in not recusing himself when the board considered and approved a single source procurement of 160 Kantanka pickup vehicles by the Education Ministry in 2019. Do not be surprised by these thieving conducts in the Shraj report, because I am not. This is typically how corruption has been normalized in public office in Ghana. It is only in a sick country that people caught in such broad daylight graft and sleaze are allowed all the time to dissipate and conceal the stolen wealth. Candidates raise at least $100 million, convert that into cedis, to campaign to be president, and at least 400 million Ghana cedis to enter parliament. Appointees, party executives, and people connected to power become filthy rich overnight, and we see how they display their wealth in our faces. Government contracts are handed to party people who in turn sell these contracts to make at least 10% of the value. We know all this. It goes on every day. They take much of this money to the bank, and no suspicion is raised by bank officials. If a small fry left a small amount of dollars into their bank account, they will flag it and freeze it. We sure need a massive coup on corruption to stop this evil fleecing this country. And that's my take. We'll be right back.